Hi, folks. I'm Bruce Campbell, star of the original Evil Dead.
Hey, this is Fede Alvarez. I'm the writer-director of the new Evil Dead, and you're listening to the Morbidly Made, where the fans have control.
Kunda. Strata. Montose. Kanda.
You're all going to die tonight.
Oh my god! Why the fuck did you do that? Dude, seriously. We're fucking remaking the intro to our retrospective?
Well,
really?
Look,
why the fuck would you do that?
Because if they can remake a movie, we can remake an intro. So, see, actually, we're pioneers right now.
Because we're remaking our own shit?
Well, yes. We're doing... I just feel like getting a pioneer hat and just standing here and doing it. But I don't think that's going to fit around the headphones. So.
No, probably not. And you know what? You're right. We are fucking pioneering, buddy, because not only are the producers of the original back, but guess what? The motherfucking performers are back too, mostly because this is only, what, a couple weeks later.
Yeah. It's, yeah, it is only a couple weeks later, right?
Yeah. So here's the deal, everyone. This is the Evil Dead remake. I don't even want to call it a retrospective because it's obviously not, but this is our Evil Dead remake episode. So hoorah, enjoy. We haven't even seen it yet, so the reactions you will be getting here in a couple minutes is going to be 100% real, unrehearsed, any bullshit like that. It'll be straight out of the gate what the hell we think when we leave the theater.
Right. Because we will have literally just left the theater not too long ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I'm a little bit more excited than Mike about this, but I gotta say...
I wouldn't say that I'm not excited.
I said I'm more excited.
I wouldn't
Come on,
say that
pay
you're
attention.
more excited.
Really?
Oh, yeah, you might be just a smidge more excited. I'm just scared.
Okay, Mike, which one of us is going to, slightly go in costume? Which one of us is so fucking amped up that he doesn't give a shit about the nerdiness you will portray and the odd looks everyone else will give him?
No, you do give a shit, and I'll tell you why you give a shit. You give a shit because you're not going in full costume. You're just going in a pussy little dumbed-down version of the costume.
So the fact that I'm not wearing my heavy, uncomfortable ash boots, and instead of having the shirt buttoned up,
yeah,
I'm having the shirt unbuttoned in my Evil Dead Tor t-shirt and under it. Oh, my bad.
It's a pussy version of the costume, unfortunately.
No, fuck you. Yeah, everyone, I'm actually... going to the midnight...
Wait, what's the moral of the story, John?
The moral of the story, Mike, is fuck you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, here's the deal, everyone. I'm actually going to the midnight showing. I'm all excited. I got my tickets lined up. And I'm actually going to be one of those fucking nerdy-ass people that you see at the midnight showing that dresses up. Alright? This will be the first time actually doing this for me, but... That's how much I fucking love the Evil Dead. I'm that excited that I'm breaking out a Halloween costume from a couple years ago. I'm going to wear the pants I wore as Ash and the ripped up bloody blue t-shirt. Or I guess it's not a t-shirt. It's the fucking work shirt or whatever. And a couple years ago, Grindhouse re-released the Evil Dead in theaters. I went to see that, which was fucking amazing.
Did you dress up then?
No, I wore my official Tor t-shirt, which they were selling. I bought that. I totally wore it to it.
That's not a fan.
And I'm actually going to be wearing that to this show as well, because fuck yeah, Evil Dead representing, motherfucker.
Well, that's why you're not having the thing buttoned up so you can see the Evil Dead Tor shirt, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't wear that because then you're breaking character. Ash wouldn't be wearing that.
I'm not playing a fucking character.
Yes, you are. If you're going in that costume, you're playing a character. So
I'm not.
You are, though. You don't realize
Fuck you.
But you just want to say that because you don't want to realize the truth and the reality of the situation. So,
no, you're trying to hype this all up that just because I'm throwing on a couple things and trying to look slightly like somebody, I'm actually trying to portray that person. What I'm actually doing, Mike, what I'm actually doing is paying homage to it.
You know what? I'm sick of people saying homage this and homage that. You know what? It's not an homage. You're trying to be the real character. So just don't deny
I'm not.
it. Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not trying to be fucking Bruce Campbell. I'm not trying to be Ashley J. Williams. I'm trying to be John fucking Rhodes, movie geek.
All right, well then why not this? Instead of going in a costume, then be John fucking Rhodes in his Evil Dead Tour T-shirt and forget about wearing the Ash getup. Because if you're not going to do it complete, then don't do it at all. Because you're just disgracing Ashley J. Williams at that point.
Okay. Did you dress up like Donald ever and go to the theater?
I never did. But
Did you want to?
I did, but I knew that I couldn't pull it off, so I never did. So see...
Oh, is it that, or is it just the fact that you're too much of a pussy?
Hey, I don't get a Rocky Horror Picture Show vibe and have to go dressing up like, people.
I just think what it is, Mike, is you don't love Donald enough to represent him when going to the movie.
Yeah, but I sit there. See, here's the difference. I sit there and I cry for Donald during the movie. You don't cry for Bruce Campbell.
So you cry for a man that you're not willing to represent and show your love to while you go to the movie.
I'm balding now, so I could really do it now.
Yeah. You just got to get the trench coat and,
I've wanted the trench coat for years.
Yeah, just buy yourself a trench coat, buddy. You got this.
When I get the trench coat, then I will fully do it. When the next Halloween comes out, I will go to the theater dressed as Dr. Loomis, the Donald.
And now in Halloween 6, didn't he also have a cane?
He did, and I will go one cane for him.
So you're gonna drop the second cane, and you're gonna
cane.
Nice. I'm impressed by that. Okay.
See, I would do that because that's dedication. I'm not gonna half-ass it like you're gonna do.
Well, here's the thing. I doubt you'll ever even fucking do this because I don't think you love Donald that much.
Oh, well.
I don't. I really don't, Mike.
I disagree.
I think this is just a big front that you put on, and, you try and do this just to get people to be like, oh, look at Michael J. He's so strange and different, when, in fact, you're not. You're not. It's all a show.
Yeah.
It's all a show. And it's all about, look at me, I love Donald this much, I love Halloween 6 this much. No, it's all a show, it's all bullshit.
I love it way more than anybody else.
I disagree even there.
Well, I disagree with a lot of stuff that you say. I disagree with pretty much every word that comes out of your mouth for the most part.
Really? Moral of the story, Mike, is fuck you.
Exactly.
And seeing how we got off on a huge tangent about how much you actually hate Donald Pleasance, which kind of hurts me a little bit, because Donald was a really good actor. I mean, he wasn't a great actor, like
totally
some people out there. Like some people out there, I'm just saying, there is a man who is the greatest actor of his generation.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, Donald is the generation before him. But let me tell you, if there was a showdown, Donald would kick Bruce's ass any day of the week.
And you are so fucking full of shit. Just because he was the generation before him is not a fucking excuse.
Oh,
all right?
Is
he the greatest actor of his generation? Fuck no, he's not.
I disagree.
Is Bruce Campbell the greatest actor of his generation? You know what? He fucking is.
Well, Donald Pleasance is the greatest actor of his generation beforehand.
I don't think he is, Mike. I don't.
He is.
Really?
Yes.
So he's better than Steve McQueen?
Yes. Steve McQueen is shit compared to Donald Pleasance.
Better than Burt Reynolds?
Oh, way better than Burt Reynolds. I mean, come on. Fucking Dr. Loomis versus Smokey and the Bandit. Dr. Loomis will win every time.
No, he won't. He won't even be able to catch him.
I disagree.
Because he's fucking eastbound and down.
Yeah, well, back in that time... Donald didn't have a cane. He was a svelte 59-year-old gentleman. So, I'm sure that he could take the Bandit down.
Okay, regardless of that, we will save all this shit for another time. Maybe we'll just do a show that's not about horror and we can talk about all this stupid bullshit. But, we're getting back on course,
Yes, back on course.
I am dressing up. I'm being nerdy. Mike refuses to do so because he hates Donald Pleasance. But there's a lot of shit going on with this remake. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and it seems like almost everybody loves it that's got the chance to see it beforehand. I got to say, I'm really psyched to see this. I mean, we talked to Fide, and he was cool as shit. He gave us some insights, and he really got me amped up to see it. I'm not going to lie.
I loved Fide.
Yeah, that was a badass interview. But the fact that he views it almost as a sequel instead of an actual remake, I fucking love that, Mike.
Well, you love it. I mean, that's because that's what it is. And I really don't think that it is a remake. I'm not looking at it as a remake. I'm looking at it as a direct sequel to 2, like Fide said.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know, because all the news that's out there right now is saying that we're going to get an Army of Darkness 2. And if, this shit does well, Evil Dead 2, which they're already talking about trying to get off the ground, is going to depend on box office from this one. They're talking about doing a combination movie where it'd be, Army of Darkness 3 and Evil Dead 3. I think that would be fucking awesome. I really do. And I don't know, man.
See, this is what I don't get. Now,
okay.
I don't get why people are calling how Evil Dead 4 that Raimi's doing. I don't get why people are calling it Army of Darkness 2, because I have a feeling that he's not going to be in the Dark Ages at that point. They're not going to call it Army of Darkness 2.
Yeah, I don't really get that title either. I think it's just building off from popularity, which even strikes me as stupid, because you got to admit, fucking the original, the series, especially with this remake coming out, has got to be more popular.
Oh, most definitely. There's no doubt in my mind.
But yeah, I really don't know. I'm hoping this shit takes off, and I'm really hoping we get that combination movie. Not only because would we get to see Ash again reprise his role, but fuck, how cool would that be with this world that's being created that, you and I are going to go see here in a little while, and then fucking combine it with what we've had, what we've seen so many times, and what we love.
Well, I mean, we talked about it, and I think we can mention it here. Remember how we had talked about it off air, that you said the rumor is that there's something at the end of the credits.
Yeah, I did hear that. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to stay and see. So.
Yeah, no, so am I. And I don't know. Like, do you really think that it's going to be Bruce revving up the chainsaw saying, "Groovy"?
I don't think there's any way that's what it is. I think I would fucking come in my pants if that's what it is. I'm not even going to lie. Literally, I would be sitting in the theater. I don't even care if I'm the last person there. Everyone else has left. Yeah. If I fucking even if it's a black fucking screen, we don't even get an image, and it's just the fucking chainsaw revving, and then it idles down, and we just hear, "Groovy." And I would fucking come in my pants automatically. It'd just be like,
hold on a second. So, wait, no, you would sound like this. And that's pretty much the that pretty much sums it up.
I would dispute that to a degree, but yeah, that's another show in itself. So yeah, if any of you are living in the Erie area and actually go to the midnight showing and see a guy slightly dressed up walking out with a huge wet spot in the front of his jeans, and that's me, because there was, the throwback to Bruce Campbell being Ash at the end of the credits, and I fucking jizzed my pants.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think that's what it is. I don't know what we are going to get, but if we do get something, I think that would be great. If we got some kind of throwback like that, I think it would be fucking huge and amazing. But I don't know what we're going to get. I hope we get something. I hope it's good.
I'm sure it will be good. I just I don't know. I'm nervous. I'll feel a lot better after it's over because right now I'm getting so worked up. I have butterflies in my stomach. I feel like I'm gonna vomit, and that's about that.
Yeah, I know. You're feeling like you're going to throw up. And honestly, I've pushed all that aside. I'm just fucking excited. I really am. And here's the thing. I'm going in with fucking no preconceived notions. I'm going to try and put all that aside and just view this as its own fresh movie. I'm really, really hoping it's fucking good.
I'm sure it will be. So, or I'm hoping it will be. I don't want to say I'm sure it will be, but I'm hoping.
Here's the thing. You're saying you're hoping it will be when I know your sick fucking mind doesn't actually think that way. You know, for yourself, you're hoping it's good, but there's that dark half of Mike that's in the back of your head just whispering like, God, I hope it sucks. Really hope it sucks so John is just fucking losing his shit.
You know what? You're right. I want you to hate it so bad. I want you to hate it so bad.
And here's the thing, like, I am actually so amped up about it, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because I might go in and just be so fucking amped up and excited that I watch it, and I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Yeah. And then in 2 years or 3 years, when I finally give it a second chance, I'll end up and be like, oh, as a movie, that's not a bad movie. I really don't want that experience, though. I want to come in out of that theater fucking jacked up, like, oh my God, they got it right. It's fucking Evil Dead. Yeah. Fuck yes.
That you'll want to buy it as soon as it comes out, basically.
Yeah. You know, I don't even want that. I want to be so fucking in love with this movie that I would suck Fide's cock just to thank him for making it. That's what I want. That is truly in my heart what I think us Evil Dead fans deserve, is a film so fucking good that I'd be willing to blow Fede Alvarez just to thank him for making it.
Yeah, that goes a little above and beyond.
Dude, it is fucking the Evil Dead. Evil Dead, alright? Fucking... Oh, they can't fuck this up. They can't. If they fucking fuck this up, fuck them. Seriously.
So if they fuck this up, you will be done with the new Evil Deads. Like, you will not see, like, the Evil Dead sequel or anything like that.
No, I can't say that. Like, here's the thing. Even if this movie sucks and for the next 25 minutes, I'm nothing but the most profane, angry, pessimistic motherfucker ever, part 2 will come out, and I will begrudgingly be like, God damn it. Ordering my midnight tickets. Yes, I will go and see it. I will still go and see it, unless, you know, it is a complete and utter fucking flaming piece of shit.
And then at the end of that one, you'll see Bruce with the chainsaw, and then all will be well again.
Okay, here's honest to God truth. Yes. This movie could fucking suck. It could be the worst movie I have seen probably in 3-4 years, whatever. Right. As long as they actually had what me and Mike were joking about with Bruce at the end of the credits, it would be a fucking saving grace that I wouldn't even think about the rest of it. I would just leave the theater being like, oh my God, Ash. I really would. I'm sorry for the people that, you know, want us to give accurate. I can't. I love this shit far too much. If they had that for fucking 15 seconds, 30 seconds, that would save the entire fucking movie for me.
Exactly.
But, alright. The fucking anticipation's killing me. We've been rambling on about crazy nonsense for far too long. So, when we get back, you will have our breakdown, review, discussion, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of 2013's Evil Dead.
so scared right now. I'm not kidding. That just freaked me.
Sam Raimi asked you, do you want to remake Evil Dead for me? You don't go like, no thank you, I don't believe in remakes.
We know what you need. You need horror with blood flowing down the screen. We know you need it. Where's your art film now, baby?
Really? What the fuck are you clapping for? You're fucking seriously gonna clap for that goddamn thing? Are you out of your fucking mind? Evil Dead, and you're fucking clapping for Evil Dead 2013. You motherfuckers! I'm messing with you, alright? I'm just messing with you guys because everyone's probably expecting me to lose my fucking shit over this movie right now, but I'm not. We're fucking with you, and
no, wait.
We're gonna get into it in just 1 second.
We're not fucking with you, John.
Okay.
You might have been
well,
fucking with them, but
what I mean is this was a gag, you know? It was a little joke, okay? What we're about to
laughing,
do, what we're about to do is completely unrehearsed. It's organic. Me and Mike really haven't got to talk about the film at all. We kind of did it on purpose, so this would be all original and, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, real quick, Mike, I know we just got off Rabbit and Red and you talked about it, but what are your thoughts real quick for our show, and could you rate the movie?
Well, I'll tell you this. It was a good movie, I thought, but as an Evil Dead movie, it failed.
Really?
Yeah, really.
How did... okay, I'm just going to let you go.
It's just, there was no strong characters. There was, like, look, I know that, and I'm not harping on the fact that there wasn't an Ash-type character in the movie.
Okay.
But if you have a bunch of characters that are just throwaway characters that you don't care about, and they're just thrown in a situation and they're just stupid, then, you know, what do you expect to get?
See, here's the thing. I'm going to dispute this with you. I don't think they're throwaway characters. I just don't think we got to really fully know them. I don't think their characters got developed.
That's because they're throwaway characters, and you don't do that with throwaway characters.
No, you could definitely see that there was character there. It was just like the script was just like, actually looks like they're developing characters and going to have this really good. And then they were just like, you know what, fuck it, it's going to be too long. Cut off a half hour, stop developing the characters, and let's go. So that's my take on it, though. Okay?
Yeah, I think it's the wrong take, but I will figure, if I have to rate this...
You have to rate it.
Yeah, alright. Well, out of 10, I'll give it a 4, and that's being very generous. Yeah, and that's being generous.
Okay. Well, here's my thoughts. I thought it was a really good film. I can't even say that it's not a good Evil Dead film, because honestly, Evil Dead's all over the place, and it did fill the spot. I do think that it could have been better in certain areas, and we're going to get into that. But overall, I did enjoy it, and this is honestly the first time it's ever happened on our show. Hopefully, Mike can appreciate this. But my rating, I'm giving it an 8. So first time ever, Mike's giving it low, I've given it high.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. It's an 8.
Is there something mentally wrong, sir?
No. I wasn't even drinking that day, or at least within the next couple hours before I saw the movie.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
Because that just doesn't happen.
It's a fucking 8.
Nah,
get over it, and okay, here's everyone that hasn't seen it. You're going to want to skip ahead, stop listening, whatever, because we're about to spoil the fuck out of this movie. All right, and then, maybe me and Mike will actually come to see eye to eye.
I don't think so, but please, if you missed out, please, once you see it, come back and listen to the rest of it.
Oh, yeah, please do. And, if Mike proves me wrong, I'm going to watch this again, and I will freely state it. So, we'll see. But, spoiler warning, stop fucking listening if you don't want spoilers. Yeah, there we go. All right, anyway, so a little bit of trivia, because, I don't know, I fucking do that all the time. This one was made for a butt ton more money than any of the other ones, all right? Mike, take a guess how much this fucker cost.
$3 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're way off. 14 million.
What?
It was filmed in New Zealand, and it was produced by franchise originals Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and Rob Tapert.
Yeah, real pieces of shit, guys. Okay, continue.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Mike. Alright, so we're just gonna dive into this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it opens up, and with our opening, we actually get something that we've never got before with Evil Dead. We're actually opened up with completely unfamiliar characters. This chick, she's a deadite, as it turns out, and, you know, these rednecks kidnap her, tie her to a basement post, and her dad lights her on fire. What?
Yeah, it was totally ridiculous. It did not need to be there.
Okay, here's the thing. I was questioning it. I agree. The film does not need it. It doesn't need it at all. But for an audience that is unfamiliar with it,
right,
maybe they needed somewhat of an introduction. I don't think so, but I think that was the reasoning. Plus, it kind of starts you off with a little bit of a sudden jolt instead of just like the slow build. But here's 2 points to this. I think if it would have been edited tighter, right. You know, you just see the girl running, she gets knocked out, suddenly she comes to in the basement. You don't have the Mexican witch lady, and the dad just lights her on fire, and she starts, you know, she's begging, she gets lit, and then she's talking in the demon voice like, "You're all going to die," and it's just a sudden quit, or a sudden, you know, cut right there. We quit that segment and move on to the next. I think that would have worked better.
I just think it was stupid because you do not burn deadites. It does not work.
Do you want to just get into that right now, then?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Mike knows what I'm talking about. I hope everyone that's already seen it knows what I'm talking about. They've actually kind of changed some of the mythos with this, how you kill deadites, and it doesn't make sense to me. Because even in this film, they say in the book that you kill them by fire, which we saw, and we'll just let me run through this list real quick, and then we'll debate it, Mike. Mm-hmm. Live burial, or dismemberment, which is the classic form. Okay? Fire, I was originally like, what, really? But after thinking about it, it works. Because if you're dismembering a body, you're destroying it. If you're fucking burning somebody to ashes, you're destroying the body. It makes sense.
Yeah, but the girl in the beginning, or whatever, the deadite in the beginning,
yeah,
did not get burned to ashes, so...
Well, we don't know that. We didn't see it. It just got cut as she was burning.
Right.
So...
But then live burial, I mean, come on, that is dumb, and we're going to get into that later, too.
Yeah, I agree. But then we also end up with fucking other characters from the movie that we haven't talked about yet, but we end up with, like, Olivia, who just gets her skull bashed in. That makes no sense to me. Is she a fucking zombie now? Really?
Yeah, right.
Or the worst one was Natalie. They fucking shoot her hand off, and she dies. I guess she bled to death. That one was seriously a what the fuck. Honestly, half the movie, I was waiting for these people to come back. I really was.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they really, like, changed the rules of the game.
Well, it doesn't make sense. And part of the thing is that I think it was scarier the other way, that you actually had to go that far and fucking chop your friend up into a bunch of little pieces to stop them from coming after you and trying to kill you. Or even if, you know, you gotta light your fucking friend on fire and watch them run around screaming, that's still impactful. But if you just fucking hit them in the head a couple times and they die, or you shoot them and they die, really?
No, actually, if you light them on fire and they run around, it's not really impactful. It's more hilarious that they're burning and running around.
Okay, so I'm not going to be by a fire with you at any point, because if I get lit on fire, I don't want you just laughing hysterically.
I would laugh at you. I'm sorry, but I would. Because I could just picture you.
But, you know, that kind of stuck out to me. That was one of the negative points for me. I just thought they could have been scarier if they were almost unstoppable, like the original ones were. I mean, you're fucking taking chunks out of the original ones, and they just keep coming unfazed, whereas these ones, you You hit them in the head a couple times and split their skull open, and they're done. You know?
That was really poor.
I mean, that would have happened in the original, and Shelley would have fucking pushed herself up and scooped some of her brains up and probably ate them.
And also, I don't like, I'm going to jump back a little bit, but I don't like the whole Mia possession thing.
We haven't even talked about that yet.
Oh. Well, no, I know it happened a little before in the film, though, I thought, so that's why.
Yeah, we just jumping around. All right, so we get introduced to our main characters, which is Mia, David, Eric, Olivia, and Natalie. They go there so Mia can stop being a fucking junkie and get clean.
That was a dumb storyline. I didn't think that I don't know. I think that something simple, like in the original...
Just a vacation?
Yeah, I don't think you needed this huge backstory, because otherwise they don't make you care about the characters.
Well, here's why that works so well. I work at a rehabilitation center, all right? I mostly dealt with criminals that were selling, but for about the last year now, I've been dealing mostly with users. And dealing with these people, this makes sense. You want to isolate them and you want to be supportive, and most of the time you can't fucking believe the shit they're saying.
Right.
So that makes perfect sense. They are isolating her, and it, for story-wise, it makes sense. She's talking all this crazy shit, and of course you're not going to believe her. She's fucking whacked out of her mind. So that's good. That was honestly good writing. Like, I heard it originally, I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb. But, you know, having seen it, doing the work I do, it makes sense to me.
Right.
So there's just a little bit more insight for you, Mike. That makes sense, and honestly, the way that Mia was acting, she sold it. That was good. That was a good portrayal.
Right. No, I'm not going to say that the acting was bad. The acting was good, and plus, you know, I love Jane Levy, so... yeah, she's good.
Okay, but anyway, they find the Necronomicon, which, once again, like the original, is called the Naturom Dimanto. I appreciate the fact that they went back to the original name, and then this nerdy teacher guy, Eric, starts translating it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I remember most of my teachers didn't seem like they could translate Spanish, let alone Sumerian. So, I don't get that. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get the whole, he discovers the hidden words in the book and says them. That makes sense to me, but the fact that he's sitting there translating it afterwards, I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah, it does seem a little, out, like, yeah. And again, why would you say the words?
Well, here's why. Because if you think about it, Mike, it's not like he's finding the words and just saying them.
Mm-hmm.
These are the hidden words on the page, and it's like he's deciphering them, and as he's discovering what the word is, he's just saying it. You know, it's like you're going through, and it's like you're scratching, you're like, Mike is a dumbass. Oh, okay. That's really how I took it. It wasn't like he was scratching him off and was like, not wrong. It was more like he was just discovering what the word was.
Right.
So, and I think that was a good way of going about it instead of, you know, any other kind of stupid way. That one actually kind of worked for me. So I liked it, and the fact that they didn't go back to like a tape recorder or something. 'Cause that would have been a little too close to the original for me.
Yeah, but I mean, in some instances, if you change it too drastically, you kind of alienate. That's when people start getting alienated.
Did you feel alienated by that? Because I didn't.
I think I felt alienated by the whole film on some level.
And I think that's probably the reason that you gave it so low.
Probably.
But moving on, the Force appears. Mia freaks. She tries to get out, and then she gets impregnated by her demonic self. Mike, what the
That
fuck?
was stupid.
Yeah,
it was more like Jason Goes to Hell, and we know how many people hate that. I love it, but people hate it.
I'm not gonna lie. I like that one too. I just don't get why we needed that.
I wanted to see the tree rape with the tree semen.
There's no tree semen.
There is. We've talked about this.
There's not. But
yes,
I thought the branch twig thing going up. I thought that looked fucking brutal. It had the big thorns off it and everything. It's like, oh, all right, that's gonna hurt. But the demon self, I didn't need that. I didn't like that. I mean, is that what we've been missing from all the other films when people are starting to become possessed? Is that what they're seeing?
I don't know. I wonder.
So I don't know. But if that is what they're seeing, I think they could have done it better. That was a little too blatant and in your face. I think if it was done more subtle, it would have worked better. But
well, do you think that Cheryl, like, if you go back to the original, like when she's in the woods and the tree is raping her, do you think that she's actually being raped by her demon self?
Do I think she's having some weird lesbian time with a demonic version of herself? Right. No, I think she's just actually enjoying a nice peaceful walk in the woods and really getting in touch with nature, is what I think.
Well, because honestly, Mia must have been having a lesbian experience with herself, because obviously...
If that's how you want to look at it?
Well, because her demon self was shoving that whatever dildo type thing up there pretty good.
Well, no, it was more like it was possessed and it was doing all the work itself.
Don't you hate that?
Anyway. So she gets back. Everyone thinks she's crazy due to the drugs. Makes sense.
Right.
And then she gets in the shower and burns the living fuck out of herself, which... I need a fucking old school water heater like that because I'm tired of fucking halfway through my shower the water being cold. Fuck.
Yeah, that's...
It'd be nice to actually be able to burn myself.
Yeah. That would, well, you'd be hurt after that.
But, you know, she then attacks Olivia, vomits all over her, and she gets tossed into the basement. Yeah. Which I liked the vomit. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed it.
But again, how did that possess Olivia? Did it get inside her mouth or something?
I almost want to say that it's like blood born or something. I don't know.
So she's being like baptized by blood.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Right.
So, anyway, you know, Olivia starts to carve up her face, which I really like the sound design on that. You don't really get to see her; you just hear her cutting away at the meat. That was fucking cool. And then she just stabs the living fuck out of Eric, which
that dude's got 9 lives, by the way.
No fucking shit! Like he's pulling this needle out of his eye. That was cool. And then, you know, he just bashes her skull in and she dies. We already talked about that. That's still what the fuck to me. But everything else right there, that really worked for me. I enjoyed that. And like I said before with the demonic self, Olivia's was very subtle and it was good. You know, she closed the medicine cabinet and in her reflection was the demonic self. Face all carved up. That worked good.
I don't know. I still just don't get this whole thing with the demon self, normal self. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's just a sign that they're becoming possessed. That, like, the two halves are struggling. The demonic version and the normal.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Because, you know, the more I think about it, and, you know, I saw the film earlier, and it's like, the more I think about it, though, it just seems like a huge clusterfuck of a film.
Really?
Really.
Really? Okay, we're gonna move on, and then at the end, you can talk about that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, Natalie's hand gets possessed, okay? And she cuts it off with an electronic knife.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid, because you know that one of those knives isn't going to cut through bone.
Whether it would or wouldn't, it was a cool scene, alright?
Right, but it's not realistic. But I guess, I mean, I can suspend disbelief for that, but not for other things in the film.
Dude, that was fucking cool. And then she turns around and it's like dangling by a chunk of skin. She's like, I feel better now, and it falls off. Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Alright, and then, you know, she becomes a Deadite, beats the living fuck out of David, and then she turns on Eric. And oh my god, did Eric get the shit beat out of him again. She fucking shatters his left hand, probably bruises or breaks his right forearm, gives him a severe grade concussion, most likely. This guy, holy shit. And that's after being shot up with a fucking nail gun by this bitch.
Yeah, that was... I'll tell you what, I was cringing somewhat at that because it just seemed so painful.
Yeah, that was... Right?
Oh, yeah.
That was good. That was good. But this guy, how the fuck is he still going?
He's the Energizer Bunny.
Apparently.
He just keeps going and going and going.
And then, you know, as mentioned before, they shoot off her hand and she fucking dies. Don't get it. But we already talked about it. So, here's where... Alright, so David goes after Mia. She almost kills him, but Eric saves him, only to die. Because, you know, this guy can't go up against a Deadite without getting the living shit beat out of him.
Oh, definitely.
But here's where it starts to... It lost me a little, okay? David buries Mia. She dies. He brings her back to life, and she's perfectly normal. No damage.
That is what I don't get either. And, you know, that's what really bothered me. I mean, can we talk about his method of... First of all, yeah, it was again with that live burial bullshit that he put her in the ground.
Yeah, and then, you know, she died.
Right.
And he tries to bring her back, which was kind of clever, but I really didn't need that. Like, I didn't need
come on, dude. A fucking car battery, though, with needles of adrenaline attached to it that you just fucking stick her, and then, you know, I mean, he jolted her enough, and she didn't, and then all of a sudden she just decides to open her eyes. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like, he turned around and she was standing there. I thought she was going to be a fucking Deadite. I did. I thought she was still. But
I'm like, how?
And she's perfectly... Okay, I can deal with the fact that she came back. Right. But how the fuck do you come back with none of your burns, without your tongue forked? What? How did the demon possession cure you as it left? I don't get that one.
It didn't. It's still in there.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, whatever happened, she's perfectly normal now. Like, all that crazy shit that happened when she was possessed is not there. The burns, the forked tongue, all that, it's gone. That makes no sense to me. That was a big check against the movie.
Right.
Okay?
No, it definitely was.
So, Yeah, okay. So, from here, Eric comes back and he's a Deadite. He and David kind of show down. David ends up trying to burn down the cabin. He dies in the process, trying to protect Mia.
Oh, and he was, I'll tell you what, he's one of those, he really was a throwaway character.
Which one?
David. Well, all of them, but David...
No, David actually had some fucking character development.
Oh, come on.
He did.
That was
out of any of them, he was the one I related to.
It was weak.
I'm not saying it was strong, but I'm saying out of any of them, he was the one I related to because he had some character development. Out of any of them, I think he probably had about the most.
Right.
But anyway, then he, which I guess this is the demon or embodiment of evil, whatever. It's just called he. Rises out of the ground and goes after Mia. Mike, tell me if I'm wrong or crazy. Yeah. Didn't he look like the chick from Rec / Quarantine at the very end? That tall, gaunt, can't tell if it's a guy or a girl fucking thing?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why. Because I believe Rec was released by Sony as well. So that's probably why.
Well, I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, Mia gets a chainsaw. He fucking pushes a Jeep on her, and I really enjoyed this. She ended up having to fucking rip her hand off.
Oh, no. That was the biggest... That's the biggest bunch of bullshit I ever saw.
Dude, that was fucking cool.
No, it wasn't. It was stupid.
Okay. Here. I'm gonna break it down for you. So, this 2-ton Jeep falls on you, shatters bones, probably breaks skin, and then she fucking rips it off. How is that not fucking cool?
How is it possible, John?
Did you watch the fucking James Franco movie where he cuts his own fucking arm off with a pocket knife? It's possible.
Yeah, but she didn't have a pocket knife.
No,
It's
but
not
probably
possible.
I'm willing to bet when the Jeep crushed her fucking arms, the bones broke the skin. It's just applying enough pressure to rip the remaining skin.
I don't buy it. But I'm gonna tell you what, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna jump ahead for a minute. And then we'll come back because I have to.
Do not talk about after the credits. We're saving that.
But see, it's
We're
gonna
saving
make-
it.
Yeah, but it's gonna make my point so much better.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Well, as we know by now, if you stay till at the end of the credits, when the credits end, the screen is black, and then we are treated to a head, and then a side turn to the camera, tight shot on Bruce Campbell's face saying, "Groovy."
I know, it was so fucking awesome.
What happened? Were you like, oh my god!
Well, like, it went black, and I wasn't sure because there was just long enough, like, I stood up, and then it, like, slowly came in of the silhouette, and he turns towards the camera, and he's just like, "Groovy." And it blacks out. I was literally standing there, slack-jawed, staring at the screen. I was literally slack-jawed.
Can you rewind it?
I left so fucking amped about that, it wasn't even funny. Oh my fucking god.
Change your opinion of the movie? Like, would you say that it made you think, like, do you think that just that moment elevated your score from maybe a 3 to an 8?
Oh, I don't... Here's part of it, okay? So I was really, really excited to see this. I don't think the film disappoints, as you said. I don't think it's a bad film. I think maybe some of my excitement and love for the franchise factored in, and I think that ending may have factored in. I don't know. I do want to watch it again, but I'm sticking with a higher score. I am. Like, I still consider this an 8, even pointing out these problems and pointing out that these may have been factors. This film is still an 8 to me. But, you know, these factors are part of the film. That experience for me is part of that. The whole fact that Bruce is in it, that is part of it.
But here's the thing, he's not in it. He's just a throwaway at the end of the credits. But anyway, so here's
Bruce Campbell is never a fucking throwaway. Fuck you.
Yes, he is. But at that point he was. But anyway, so here's where I think, because that was, dude, right there, with them putting him at the end of the credits like that was them saying, "Fuck you, John."
That was not. That was them saying, "You were right. Here it is. Enjoy."
Well, no, because, let me tell you what I think would have made
No. You're saying that was a "fuck you, John"? Let me tell you what that was. That was I wake up to a blowjob on my birthday. That's what that was. That was the icing on the cake. That's what that was.
You're going that far with it? Okay.
That was icing on the cake. It was like, you enjoyed it? Enjoy it a little bit more with this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, no, let me just explain to you then what they could have done to make it better.
Oh, God.
Now,
please don't say Donald Pleasance, because I'm going to I'm walking if you say that.
No, I'm not going to say that. Here's what they could have did. When the Jeep fell on Mia's hand, you know, after it started raining blood and the Jeep fell on her hand.
The raining blood was fucking cool. I loved that.
Yeah, it was all right. And the that demon or whatever came out of the ground, which looked a hell of a lot like the fucking Deadite from the opening of the movie.
I did appreciate like how it just kind of rose up out of the ground too. I liked that.
But so what could have happened is, instead of her fighting to get her hand free and pulling it apart, you know, separating her hand from her arm.
Yeah.
And then, putting her hand on the chainsaw and whatever, I think what should have happened was, if they cared about the fans, if Fede Alvarez actually gave a shit about the fans, they would have done this.
You're saying Fede doesn't. Are you fucking serious?
At this point, that is exactly what I'm saying, because I thought that the movie would have been better because it was done by a fan, for the fans, I thought, but no. It was done by a fan to make money off of the fans.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I'm gonna let you go, but
I'm not wrong.
I'm interjecting after this.
Okay. So then, what they could have done if they gave a shit was when she got the hand free of the Jeep and it was just laying there, instead of trying to copy Ash and put her, hand in the chainsaw and rev it up and fucking slice that demon all to hell.
That was cool.
No, it wasn't.
Dude, she just fucking shoved it in its mouth, cut it in half. That was fucking badass.
Yeah, but let me tell you how it could have been better, and if you don't agree with me, I'll be very surprised. Instead of, let's say she goes to reach for the chainsaw, all of a sudden, you see somebody, stop. And then she kind of, looks up, and you get a slow pan, and Ash is standing there. And he says, "I got it from here, baby." And then he gets the chainsaw, and he goes, "Hey, she-bitch, let's roll." And then that's when he fucking takes the chainsaw and starts it and fucking slices her all to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
that would have been better.
Fide already said that they were trying to keep the two separate right now, and that makes sense. Do I think it would have been better?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would have screamed like a little girl in the theater.
I would have loved to. I would have paid money just to hear that.
Honestly, I would have seen the boots and I'd have been like, "Oh!" And the slow pan up, and it had just been like, "I got it from here, baby." I would have been like, "Oh!" I would have. I would have. I would have fucking lost it. But
that would have been the way to go.
For the film, I don't think it. I don't. I can't even say it, but I don't think that what they did was a bad choice.
But here's what I want you to do: if you go back for a second viewing, please, when you watch that scene, try to picture it the way that I just explained it.
Oh no, I've already pictured it. And it's fucking amazing. But I think you need that character to finish your own story. Especially when they're already talking about it too before they do the combination.
Yeah, but she's not strong enough. None of the characters in that movie were strong enough.
Was Ash strong in the first one?
Of course he wasn't, but here's the thing. The characters weren't throwaway in that movie. They all kind of were an ensemble. They all played well together. These characters didn't have that.
Well, you don't know how her character is going to grow yet, so I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Give her a chance.
Here's the thing: she's Jane Levy. She's on a hit TV show. She's not coming back for the sequel.
She's on a TV show?
Yeah, she's on Suburgatory Wednesday nights at 8:30 now on ABC.
Yeah, whatever.
She's not coming back for the sequel.
Whatever.
I can guarantee you that.
If she doesn't, she's a stupid fucking cunt. But
yeah, she's not. I can guarantee you she's not.
Yeah, stick to fucking TV, baby, instead of, making actual movies. That's the route to go.
Exactly, that's what she wants to do. Because the series is somewhat successful. It's been on for 2 or 3 seasons now, so yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think the story concluded itself the way it should have. I think it would have almost felt a little weird having this character step in and save her. Because this was her triumphant moment where she actually finally gets to step up and do something. And it was gratifying to see her kill that fucking deadite. Or demon, or whatever. It was gratifying to see that. I enjoyed that greatly.
I didn't, but,
It was fucking good, man. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, you got one fucking hand. You're going to have to, shove that stub in the handle to, bounce that fucker. And she does it. I was like, yeah. Revs it up, and she's like, what'd she say? Chew on this or something?
Yeah, something.
And she just fucking... That was awesome.
But when she shoved it in, it was kind of like a pussy shove. It wasn't even anything major.
Oh, Mike, you're just looking for reasons. That was fucking cool.
Dude, no, it wasn't.
It was.
It was ridiculous. And what's this with the credits? Did you look at the credits at all?
Yeah, I watched them.
They said something, voice of Cheryl, Ellen Sandweiss. I did not hear Cheryl's voice in that film.
Here's what I'm assuming, is I was talking somewhat. Yeah. I think it might have been during the credits like Professor Nobi, because he also got credited as the original Professor Nobi.
Right.
Well,
I heard
that's
him.
what I'm assuming it was.
Well, then where the hell was she? Did they cut her out?
No, I'm assuming it was during the credits as well. I
I
wasn't paying
listened during the
attention and didn't
credits.
hear it, apparently.
Dude, I didn't hear it either, and I was like, my theater, I went at 10:30 in the morning. It was dead.
Here's the thing is, like, honestly, that all played, and then it went to black, and my mind was just like, really? That was it? That was the stuff during the credits? I was like, woohoo, and I stood up, and then that's when it faded back in, and I was just like, literally my eyes just went wide. I was like, no. It's like, I predicted it somewhat. And he turned towards the camera with the groovy, and so good.
Then I woke
So
up to
good.
that text message from you, like I said, in all caps this morning. Stay till the end of the movie. Stay till the end of the movie. Exclamation point, like 5 of them. And I looked at that, and I'm like, you know what? That fucker, I know what it is now. He spoiled it.
I didn't mean to. I was just trying to really point out how important it was that you stayed to the end, because holy shit.
And then you posting about, if you don't stay till the end of the credits, you're fucking stupid. And I'm like, dude, he's just trying to prove my point even more so. Of like what it is. But the thing is, that was the reason that I say that ending whole thing at the end of the credits was a throwaway, was because they could have done something more if it was like something like when I originally thought that like he was at the end of the credits. So like when I saw that text from you and I figured that he was going to be there, right? I figured what was going to happen was like something that we talked about. Like he would come to the cabin like in the aftermath of all this. Because then that would kind of connect him. But they didn't do that, and I think that was
wait.
wrong.
Here's the thing, is you're like, it's not connected to this movie. Well, here's what I'm thinking. We don't know what that's in context to. We don't know why he's just in the blackness. We don't know where he's at. We don't know what that ties into.
Yeah, you know where he is? He's in his trailer on the set of Burn Notice.
Either way, I don't fucking care, because I loved it.
But again, it doesn't tie together the films.
We don't know that yet. We don't,
Yeah,
because
we do.
it could tie into Army of Darkness too. It could. We have no idea.
And don't call it Evil Dead 4.
I know, it's just everyone's calling it that.
Well, everyone's, I don't know, they're insane.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one thing that also stood out to me. And I just want to touch it upon it real quick. I mean, it wasn't a huge thing to me, but I bet even Mike's going to want to piggyback off this.
Yeah.
I felt like the book spelled out a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
And here's a counterpoint. I was thinking about it afterwards, and this occurred to me. You know, if you're making a book like this, though, you're going to spell out as much of this shit as possible, right?
Right.
But I think it should have been done cinematically more subtle. Like, just focus on those pages a little bit, so when they occur later in the film, you're just like, oh yeah, that was in the book. Instead of just like she gets burned and it pans over to the book and the page flops to the girl burning. It's like, yay, you know what subtlety is? Do they have that in Colombia?
That whole opening thing shouldn't have been there. What it should have been was it should have started with the car driving to the cabin. And that's how it should have started. And
No, you just want the original over again.
I don't want the original over again. I do not. But I don't think you need that opening prologue. I think that was a waste of time. I think it was stupid.
Well, here's the thing is I think that they felt that the newer audiences needed it. Not us people that could tell you every fucking scene from the original. So,
like I said, that's why they put Bruce in there, to appease us, the older generation.
It worked.
It worked for you.
Dude, it worked like a fucking champ for me.
Not for me.
Like I said before, like, I think the film's a good film. I do. I don't think it's a great film. I've said that already on Facebook and whatnot. I'm going to get into this a little bit right now.
Okay.
I think the original is a better film, period. The end. You can't... It is not comparable, really. It's a better film. Do the special effects really hold up? No. But, you know, the original has mystery to it, which this one doesn't really have as much mystery. They didn't really leave much question in it. The original has a fucking butt ton of tension and intensity. This one didn't have as much. No. And I think the Deadites in the original are scarier, you know?
I agree.
I feel the pacing in the original was almost perfect for the film.
Yeah,
because
I don't think they paced this one out well at all. I just think that it was a jumbled... I really think it, like I said, I think it was a clusterfuck. It was a jumbled mess.
I don't think it was, but here's the thing is, the way they set the original up is it starts so slow and it just starts building and going and shit gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And they could have easily done that with this one, but I think that with the modern audience, they felt that they had to change it up somewhat. Right. And that's sad, but I understand it.
I don't, but that's just me.
I think this is a good film. If this was not called Evil Dead, you'd be sitting here making fun of me saying, no, you're wrong, it's good. This is a fucking 9. It's a 9.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. It should not be called Evil Dead. You can call it like Kids in the Woods, or The Force in the Woods, you know, or Necronomicon.
But that's where you're wrong, Mike, because simply because it's called Evil Dead, that's not a check against it. That's
no. But with all these remakes, you got to look at it this way. You call a remake, you call a movie Halloween, you call a movie Friday the 13th, you call a movie Evil Dead, you're automatically setting your bar and your standards higher. So you have a higher standard that you have to adhere to. And if you don't do that, if you can't do that, then you don't fucking touch it.
I disagree. I disagree because, well, I agree with your sentiment, but I disagree with it on this film because I think it did. I think it met it.
So.
I really do.
No way. It definitely didn't. There's no way that it can. Dude, none of the characters are likable. They're all, like I said, they're all throwaway. Then you have...
You're wrong.
How am I... Give me a character that you think is not a throwaway in this film.
David. David and Mia are not throwaway characters.
David, for the majority of the movie, is just fucking there.
But and you get character development with him. Yeah, you get to understand him. I related to him. He was not a throwaway character. Mia, you knew all her story and whatnot. You understood her. You know, you may not like her, but, you know...
But then she's down in the fucking basement, possessed. What the fuck kind of development is that?
A fucking badass one, because that was awesome.
Oh, boy.
You know what, Mike? We're just going to have to agree to disagree on this motherfucker, because you don't like it. I fucking like it.
Like I said, it's good, but it sucks as an Evil Dead. I will watch it again, and I will buy it, obviously. But it's definitely never going to be an Evil Dead film in my eyes.
It is an Evil Dead film. And you can't... I don't understand how you can say that when even the original series changed drastically from film to film.
No, I agree with that, but... It's just... It doesn't feel... It was missing that strong central character.
It was missing Bruce Campbell. Well, guess what, Mike? You're not getting him.
No, or a Bruce Campbell-like character. They didn't.
And that was their whole thing, is they didn't want that from the start.
Yeah, but you need that. If you don't have that, it falls flat, which is exactly what it did.
I don't think it did. I think it tried to deliver something different towards that aspect, and I think they managed to do it.
No.
All right, well... Up next will be the wrap-up fucking show where we discuss everything Evil fucking Dead. And every single one of you out there that are interested are invited to join us and discuss Evil Dead.
And don't forget that on that next show we will also talk about some behind-the-scenes from the whole series of retrospectives, guests that we tried to get that did not happen, why they didn't happen, we'll get into all that now.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely cover our experience with this retrospective too. So, everyone out there, thank you for listening. Devil's Eyes, thank you for hosting us. Everyone else, for your support, thank you guys so much. Thank everyone for listening, and I don't know, Mike, you got something to say?
And we will see you next week.
All right, later.